Second opinion, good morning. Can you tell me whether it is okay to spit antiseptic mouthwash down the sink? My husband is telling me that I have to go outside to spit it out because it is injurious to plumbing pipes. We are on public sewer, so septic is not an issue. Thank you so much if you are able to answer this question.
How long have you been dealing with this sink issue?
We just had out master bath renovated with new piping, but the sink previously did clog a lot, and he thinks it is because I use mouthwash twice per day and spit it into the sink after gargling. With the new pipes in place, he is trying to prevent a future problem.
What have you tried so far with your sink?
I don't know. He used to unclog it with a product from time to time. If you could just answer yes or no as to whether antiseptic mouthwash is bad for the pipes, that would be most helpful. I feel that his request for me to go outside with my mouthwash every morning borders on unreasonable, but perhaps I am wrong.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
Nothing except that I do not believe that mouthwash was ever the culprit. I think it was mostly hair. I have scoured the internet and all I can find is that antiseptic mouthwash is bad for septic systems, nothing about indoor pipes. As I said, we do not have a septic system. If you do not know the answer, that's okay. I appreciate your time.
Hello. No mouthwash ever made is harmful to any sort of plumbing pipes in your home or in the city sewage system. The basis for that is that it will not harm your own tissues, it sure will not damage plumbing. And there is nothing on the record or in my own 60-year experience that indicated mouthwash is any sort of hazard to piping of any sort. Hair and grease clogs, however, are about 99% common in the case of most clogged pipes, aside from tree root intrusions in the main sewer line from the house to the city main line. It's time to locate the Finish and Rate Your Expert link near the top of your page and click on it to close the question. The company does not allow me to do it from here. I appreciate your business. POST back for any follow-up you might need on the same dime, so to speak.
Thank you very much for your response, Phil. I gargle twice per day with antiseptic mouthwash, and my husband says it damages the pipes. He is completing the renovation of our master bath and said that the old pipes were damaged. Our old sink used to clog periodically, and he insists that it is because I use antiseptic mouthwash. He says that anything like antiseptic mouthwash, alcohol and antibacterial soap will kill the good bacteria, leaving nothing to help break down solids that contribute to backups. I do not want to cause damage to our pipes, but I would also rather not have to go outside to spit out mouthwash. My husband is a skilled and smart man. I do not want to disrespect him, but wish to have clear facts. I really appreciate your help.
Thanks. Elaborate. Your husband is correct. Sort of like being correct, that flushing the toilet will cause ocean levels to rise. It will indeed cause the ocean levels to rise. But not enough to measure. But he is correct. Perhaps 1% of the total bacteria load will be killed off by the mouthwash, especially once diluted by the water. The net effect on the drain lines will not be measurable.
That is extremely helpful, Phil, and I will pass this along to him. He keeps saying the bacteria factor is common sense. Yours is a second opinion I have obtained this morning, to be clear. The first person, from this website, had the same conclusion as you, but he offered nothing to acknowledge my husband's opinion and implied that my husband is an idiot. Your response makes sense and is respectful. Thank you so much.
Tell him that the mouthwash will cause the rest of the bacteria in the pipes to become resistant to mouthwash, and that then will result in even more bacteria. Until the sink drain reaches the main sewage line in the house where the line ties into the toilet sewer line, then it would not even have that effect. It is interesting to note that urine is sterile in most cases, and that if put into a composting type toilet will kill off enough the bacteria in the feces to slow the decomposition, sometimes completely. So there are these factors. It's a matter of degree. Restaurants have grease traps to avoid clogging the city sewer with grease. They buy a special strain of bacteria to consume the grease inside the trap, reducing cleaning cycles and ensuring that no grease goes into the city sewer. You can buy it also. Click here, please.
Thank you very much for the additional information, Phil. Your responses have been enormously helpful and elucidating. I look forward to sharing them with my husband. Phil, my husband is saying that antiseptic is deadly to septic systems of any kind. It kills the germs that break down solids. I assume your response will be to reiterate that it only affects 1% of the good bacteria. Please know that I mean no disrespect by my follow-up question. He said Listerine kills 100% of the germs in your mouth. Why would it not do the same to plumbing pipes? Are you there, Phil?
I am here, but I do not stand by. It depends on how thick the bacterial-laden material is. The diluted mouthwash would only get a percentage. To be more accurate, tests would be needed. My view is that your husband's concern is not warranted to any great degree. Something like water being toxic and can kill people. If a person drinks a few gallons within an hour, indeed it can kill, but not generally. It will not likely be to anyone's advantage to argue the point with him, though. You could keep a jar by the sink to collect the mouthwash, then dump it once a week or so where directed.
Thank you again for your assistance, Phil. Enjoy your day.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.